Welcome back to another episode of Southside Struggles. In the last video, before we do that, if this is your first video, be sure to check out the rest of the series. At the end of this video, there will be a video card, and there'll also be a subscribe card and a playlist card, so be sure to check those out when you're done with this video. Also, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button and turn the notifications on if you want to be notified when the next video drops. In the last episode, we were able to make it through the month of May. We got a 9-18 record, so not great. I think we've had about a 9-18 record every month, but last month we played most of it in the last episode, and we got all the way up through halfway through June as well, or July as well. Or sorry, not the month of May, the month of June. The 9-18 record in the month of June. We were able to get all the way halfway through July, and we are up to the 13th of July. Tomorrow is the first draft, our very, very first draft here as the managers or general manager of the White Sox. Before that, we're going to get into the MLB futures game. We do have one player in the lineup today, and we are going to player lock as him, and it is Jacob Gonzalez. He's had 287 bats. He's hit 7 homers, 27 RBIs for a 251 average. He seems to be developing pretty well. His potential actually went up, so that's super awesome to see. He's a 66 overall right now, so looking forward into the future. He should be able to get the call up to MLB probably towards the end of next year, going into his 23-year-old season. But he's been developing pretty well. I mean, he's improved on everything except for stealing and base running, aggressiveness, and speed. At least he hasn't gone down in speed at all. No quirks. And he's gone up 4 in contact on righties, so that's really good to see. And his vision, which is something we really need to improve for simulation purposes, has gone up as well. So we're hopefully going to look to see him in the MLB in the next few years. His OPS is only 700 though. Not a big power guy, so that limits his a lot. But 251 average, not terrible. Would definitely like to see that a little higher. So that we're going to give him another year or so to develop. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. We'll be facing Person, I think. Not positive. As the futures game here in Texas. And we'll be hitting the field first. We'll be facing Hurston. So we should be able to make the ground out here. Throw it over to first base, and that's out number 2 in the top of the first. James Wood, a prominent Nationals minor leaguer, gets it. I think he's called up by now in real life. I'm not positive on that. He played in the futures game. That'll be out number 1. 0 for 1 so far in the day. Not great. Not too terrible. Got some good contact as Jackson Holiday gets a 3-run homer as the American League is up. As Wood is really timing that to hit it to us. So we get another ground out from him. We're back to the plate here. We get another pitch through the middle, but still popping that up, still under it. I've noticed those high hitters are kind of hard to get on top of. We typically pop those up pretty often. On the ground at first. Not able to even move there. Third at bat as we've brought it back to tied. We're 0 for 2 here. Hopefully we're able to drive something into a gap. Do a nice little stand-up double. The runner has some speed at their first, so maybe we'll get that run if we're able to drive something here. I'm curious to see. Swing through one. I'm curious to see what these futures games actually entail for players, because I mean you are going up against the best of the best, and I mean your respective minor leagues, but do management offices really take into account? I mean it's one game. I mean I guess it does kind of showcase how, as a player, you can handle big moments. That's definitely something I'm sure that they look at. But as far as performance, you know, if they're not hitting home runs and stuff like that, you know, it's only like 4 at bats. So is it really, you know, that important? Woo! As he's able to get a good rip off that one, as we will have a stand-up double here to put us in the winning run in scoring position. 104 off the bat. Oh, they got that nice sound there. Almost drove that out. About 2 feet short. Driving out a homer here. A walk-off homer. That would just been an amazing moment. Oh, man, he barreled that one up. Amazing. I'd love to see it. 1 for 4 day with that type of hit will definitely work for us. This kind of showcases what he's capable of. He's not able to bring us in. We'll move on to extras. It's Max Clark. I think is a Tigers prospect in real life. Not positive on that. Tosses the first. That's the third out. No runs, no base. First and second. No outs. We're back up the bat. 1-4. Runners in scoring position. No outs. That was a pitch to hit. Even if we can get a sac fly here. I mean, it wouldn't be a sac fly if we can get a fly out deep. Ooh, doesn't matter. We're going to get one down the line, and that will be a walk-off single for us to win the Futures game. And that is a way to deliver. 2 for 5, a double and a single. As we walk it off here in the 12th inning. Oh, man. It's super, super exciting. I mean, in real life, if that happened, that'd be a freaking huge moment on the biggest stage against some of the best players in the minor leagues. Oh, man. That'd be awesome. A notable player, 2 for 5. Jackson Holiday with a homer, a 3-run homer. Oh, they put us up. Gotcha. I had the colors backwards. And we will be going into our very first draft. This could be a big break for us. I don't think it's going to necessarily make or break us by any means. We still have some good young players in our minor leagues, but definitely it'll be a hiccup if we're not able to really capitalize on it. So looking at the prospects here, we've gone through a lot. I mean, we would love to see Richard Abbott fall to us, but is that realistic? Probably not. He's a good pitcher. Only a 3-pitch mix, more of a closer reliever type of mix. I would love to see him have a 4th one. And again, we may add that down the line. So we'll have to see. Doesn't really top out much, but you know, the intangibles are there. Strikeouts, walks per 9, pretty high. I mean, your strikeouts per 9 guaranteed to kind of be up in that 90 threshold. So that's really good to see. Moving on to the number 2 projected on our board, number 3 overall. Rich Keith, a shortstop, can play everywhere in the infield, so that's super valuable. A potential up there above 80. Overall, not too crazy right now. He's only 19, 6'1", bats lefty, throws righty. Vision looks to be topping out pretty good. Nothing too super crazy on the hitting attributes. Speed can top out at 93, hopefully, and arm strength. You don't really need that at second base or first base, but you know, shortstop and third base across the field works pretty well for him. The first closer here, our draft rank has him at 3-4 in the whole draft. Pitch break is absolutely insane. You know exactly what you're going to get with him. It's 79 to 94. Any way you cut it. 4-seam, changeup, slider, curveball, not too shabby. Stamina not crazy. Probably won't develop into a starter at any point. His per 9 and K's per 9 looking pretty good there as well. Velocity not really there for him, but with that big break, he should definitely be able to work around a lot of batters. Pitch to soft contact type of guy, definitely not going to overpower you by any means. That potential sits at 80 to 95. Overall, still can be a little bit to desire, but at 19 years old, not too shabby. Richard Abbott with an 83 to 95 overall, a little bit higher, or potential a little bit higher overall. I'm only at 20 years old. Definitely probably why they're so highly touted. With Rex McGee at shortstop, he's our number 4 on the board, number 10 overall. 85 to 95 potential, which is absolutely insane. Minimum, you're guaranteed 85, which is a B, but pretty much, if you go dead middle, it's going to be 90, which is an A. He can play shortstop and third, so left part of the infield. Looking at his hitting stats, probably why he fell to number 4. Not great. contact, power, vision. Probably his best stat. But when you look at the fielding, you can kind of see why he's probably a little bit more highly touted. And then the speed can be there. You can definitely develop that probably into the mid 80s, which will get you some steals, but it's not going to get you, that 70 steal range like Acuna Jr. had at 23. And then you have Pablo Gonzalez, who is the MLB's #1 draft pick, our 5th for some reason. He's going to be a rubber arm type of guy who doesn't have the pitch velocity, which I think that falls him further than 5th. But, the game calculates it in a way. Only 3 pitch mix again. When you top out at 93, I don't know how many guys are going to be able to work around, especially when you only have 3 pitches, especially when your break isn't great. You're not going to be able to miss some barrels. So he's going to definitely try to pitch to that, soft contact with his hits per 9 being so high. His home runs per 9, they might get some good contact off. His bonus man is 9.2 million though, which is absurd. Sammy Lewis coming in here at number 6 on our board, 52 overall. Definitely jumped a lot if you take a look at that. He's 18, potential 77 to 93. We didn't fully scout him. Overall is not too crazy. 5'7", kind of short. But if you're looking at contact, he's super aggro on lefties. Power's not really there. Vision can look to be good. Fielding is kind of, a little bit more to be desired as well. Christopher Wolf, number 2, fell to number 7 on our board. Potential not too great. B range. Overall though, holy crap. As an overall coming in at a minimum of 79. If he falls to us, I think we take him. Just because 79 overall is insane. Just already coming out of college. Like that could play right away. That's insane. But you can see why he's so highly rated overall wise. Contact lefty is crazy. Power lefty is crazy. So he's going to be a little bit of a power hitter as well. If he can develop those. Vision not too hot, which to be expected from a power hitter. Discipline though is amazing. Fielding, probably be leaning more towards the DH role. Right field, you could probably work him in. He plays everywhere in the outfield. And then that speed, absolutely a monster in the base path. His stealing is going to be near 100. You can't really ask for more than that. Definitely if he falls to us. Hopefully there's a lot of teams in the first couple slots that scouted him, because if they fall to 7, I think we're set, so we could really get him, and that would be a huge boost for our pipeline. And then Russell Chin here, he's 8th on our board. Looks pretty good. Velocity though is crazy. Tops out at 99 on the 2-seam. So maybe if he has some break there on that, you could really work that in. You all know me, I'm not a big 2-seam guy, but if you can work the break in, it might work for you. Kevin Hansen, overall could work to play really early. Stats look pretty good, but he's only 77 scouted. 4-seam can be up there near 100, so that's good to see as well if you're going to draft him. We'll have to play it by ear when we get into the draft. But yeah, that's going to do it to it. I think we're going to get right on into the draft here. All right, we're going to get straight on into it. And the first draft pick goes to the Nationals. Or no, the Guardians, Reds, Rockies, A's, and then us at 5th. We're going to start this, and the Guardians are going to draft number 1 in the 2024 draft, Christopher Wolf. Yeah, that's who I thought would go number 1. Looking at overall, 79 to 89, potential's not there, but when you're already at low 80s max, like minimum, your floor is low 80s. You don't really need to develop much past that. So I think that's a great pick for them. Definitely gonna work there with them. They kind of have a good infield already. So Rich Keith coming number 2 off the board, the infield utility man, coming out of JUCO, I think, right? Yeah, 1-year JUCO. Yeah, not a bad player. We've already went over him. Not a bad one. I don't think he's a number 2 overall necessarily, but the Reds draft him anyways. Which they already have a shortstop at Ellie De La Cruz. That's kind of interesting. They'll probably move him to a different position. As Rex McGee goes off the board at number 3. We at one point thought we were going to draft him, but just overall it really isn't there. Topping out at 70, just below 70. At 21 years old, the potential you might get to high 70s. in his 23-year-old season. I mean, he's probably going to be a good pit player, you know, for them. But definitely interesting. They have Adiel Omar, I think, at shortstop. So interesting pick for them. He can play third, I guess, which they have. Oh, they just signed him. They have a high-paid player there right now. Chris Bryant. You have Chris Bryant there right now, so look to be his backup probably, or, you know, backfield. As the A's will get the number 4th pick, and Pablo Gonzalez, the starting pitcher, who was slated number 1 by MLB, was our pick number 5 by our draft standards. Interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the prospects here. Oh man. So top 100, Richard Abbott, who we thought should go number 1 overall. He's a closing pitcher. I'm not a big fan of drafting closers right out the gate, right? I think you can, you know, if a starting pitcher doesn't develop in well, you can develop more into a closer down the line. I just think drafting closing pitchers is slim pickings, especially since you're probably going to sign somebody out of free agency anyways for a closer. Same thing with the relievers. But starting pitchers, you definitely want to develop in-house, because those guys go for millions of dollars, especially with a small market team like us. Well, small market is not how you put it, because Chicago's a massive market, but you know, a team that's not great at developing talent in the past. I really don't want to draft them. I'm not going to. I'm not going to draft Richard Abbott or Daryl Steen. I don't believe. I just don't think the pitch velocity there for any of them, and I think Richard Abbott definitely just doesn't have the mix that I would like to see. So that moves us down to Sammy Lewis, who is a 52 number raw. So what we could do is wait on him, right? We could wait. He's injured right now, so we definitely could wait and kind of play it to see if he falls to us down the line. But then where does that put us? Who do we draft? You know, kind of puts us in a weird position. Tim Flint's not terrible, but we already have a second baseman coming up in our pipeline. So, like, do we really want to draft him? And then Kevin Hansen. Oh, man, 3-pitch mix. I would love to see something better. Again, we may be able to develop that down the way, but I want to kind of rely on that, developing something, because that's kind of cheese, and, you know, can kind of be assumed as cheating. I think we might go Russell Chin. He's 18 years old. His potential maybe a little bit to be desired, but if we can get lucky, get him at the high 80s, and get the overall, you know, at the mid 60s, that could really work for us. He's an international player, so that's interesting. So I think we're going to take a risk and see if Sammy Lewis falls to us down the way. And we're probably going to draft Russell Chin. And with that, in the first round in 2024, the White Sox list, Russell Chin. Could be, yeah, interesting choice. He is only 18 years old, so I'm looking for him to definitely develop. I'm hoping if he does somehow get the 90 potential luck out of it, that'd be amazing for us. I'd be super excited about that. He's only 5.4 million, so definitely better than the 9 million that the first 2 guys were running at. So you're gonna save us a little bit of money, and I think it's a good pick, especially if we can get Sammy Lewis down the line. With that, the Kansas City Royals. I'm surprised that there's like Kevin Hansen. Yeah, that was not a bad guy. That was the other guy I was looking at. I mean, looking back now, that he had he only had the 3-pitch mix. If he had a 4-pitch mix, definitely probably would have looked to draft him. But I liked the 4-pitch mix of Russell Chan. Again, wish it didn't have a 2-seam fastball, but it is what it is. Again, I didn't want to rely on us adding a pitch to draft Kevin Hansen. That will be 5 straight starting pitchers off 6. That's actually crazy. We're gonna go ahead and simulate to our next pick. Take a look here. And I think we got lucky with it. Let's go. As we are going to be able to draft Sammy Lewis. He fell to us. We had him number 6 on our draft rank. Even though the MLB had him at 52. I mean, looking at that, he's a lefty contact guy. So that's good to see. He's young out of high school, 77 and 93 potential. Overall, not great, but he's so young. We can definitely develop the hell out of him. So yeah, vision could be there. So we're definitely going to draft Sammy Lewis with our second pick at number 42. Wears a little turtleneck, has a little bit of flow to him. I'm liking what I see him so far. Now we're just going to simulate to the rest as we get a competitive balance round B pick. This is kind of where it gets into the weeds, how we want to draft. I think we're going to draft Calvin. Yeah, definitely. He's 23. He's a 4-year senior. But if you look at his potential, not too great. But at a floor, he's going to be 76 overall, right? Going to start AAA, probably come in halfway through the year. Good start for us. He'll probably DH. Possibly could start for us at third base. Wish he had another position like first, or maybe like an outfield position. But I mean, honestly, not terrible. I mean, looking at the contact, looking great. Power lefty, he's definitely gonna be another lefty hitter, and we're gonna have a lot of those. It looks like in our minor leagues. Has great fielding, and that's what you want to see at third base. Honestly, not terrible speed either. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna. Yeah, we're gonna go for Calvin here. And draft Calvin at number 67. He's an injured, so that's our second injured. I didn't even see that. Second injured player we've drafted already so far. So have a lot of guys on our draft board. As Ryan Rich, who we have fully scouted, fell to us. His potential is not great overall, not there, but he's only out of high school, so we can develop into the 70s. He could be a 5th starter for us, or maybe ooh. Do we go for Ramies? He's what pick are we at? 81. Yeah, we're slated for 81. I think we take another risk. I think we take Ramsey's at 111, and we get Ryan Rich now. I think that's the best move for us. Oof. Hopefully Ramsey's is there. We take Ryan Rich at 81. All right, let's hope for the best. And Ramsey's Drummond will be there for us. Potential's insane. Guaranteed 91. That is just awesome. Can play second base, shortstop, and left field, so that's super useful. Can move him around the yard. Overall, not great. He's 22, so it's going to be a little bit slow to develop. He might not make the majors till 25 or 26. And you see some guys come late into the majors and still have a good career, so I'm not too worried about that right now. And he's going to be a cheap guy. That's good for us. Awesome to see. Love to see that double blue on the potential. Still have 3 prospects here that we have scouted, or that we put on the board. With Lewis Harrison, I mean, he's 85 to 95, only 21. And Brian Garcia, we haven't really scouted him much. We're at 141. Hopefully Miguel Padilla can fall a little bit. He has pretty good fielding, so he has better fielding than Lewis Harrison, but he's a year older. I think we're gonna try to sneak Miguel Padilla next, as we take Lewis Harrison at pick 141. We will simulate to our next one, and they took him off the board. Unfortunate, as he went 151, right where he was slated. All right, and this is where we kind of get into the weeds. So he's guaranteed 74 potential. He's old though. I think we're going to go with Derek Hahn. We don't really have much time. He's injured, though. Oh, God, we're going to draft him anyways. We only have a couple seconds. Derek Hahn, his potential's good. Overall, it's not great. He's injured. He's 21, so a little younger than some of the other guys we saw. Projected 194th, which I don't think you have another side with 197 picks. I know you do. But we'll take him anyways. And that will do it for us. And that'll be the end of the first draft here as the general manager. Super excited, as we can't look at our draft picks yet. But we will be playing, hopefully we're in the home run derby, I'm not sure, but we'll be playing the all-star game, whoever our all-star player is, hopefully. Taking a look at all-star voting, you can see here the all-star voting for our division. Judge is Manning center field, Kyle Tucker and right, Wyatt Langford there as well. Jose Ramirez at third, JP Crawford, Jose Altuve, and Vladimir Guerrero to round out the infield. Garrett Whitlock of the Reds is having a good year, and he'll be starting pitcher for the American League. And then Adley Rutschman will be the starting catcher. Seems to be having a good year as well. I'm taking a look at the National League. Aaron Nola will be... I'll look at... Hey, Wyatt Langford's our DH. Interesting. I'm taking a look at starting pitcher for the National League. Aaron Nola will be starting for them. Oof, sorry. As Will Smith will be manning the backstop. Freddie Freeman at first. Nico Horner, Jameer Candelario, Mookie Betts, a lot of LA guys, JD Martinez, Tommy Edman, and Ronald Acuna Jr. to round it out, with Shohei Ohtani at DH. Almost 1 million votes. Crazy. So after looking over those All-Stars, not sure if we'll get a guy in the Home Run Derby or All-Star game, but we will take a look anyways. If we do have a guy in the All-Star game, we'll do a player lock, but I think we'll take a look at the Home Run Derby either way. We're probably not going to play. We'll probably just simulate and see who wins. But anyways, I think it'd be cool to see, maybe the final round and whatnot. But I think we had a pretty good draft. I think we had a pretty good draft. I think we did very well for what we were given. Obviously, some of the guys we wanted fell closer to #1 pick, and that is what it is. It sucks to be that way, but possibly next year we may get a higher pick, so who knows. So we're going to go ahead and simulate through the day as we get into a moment right before the All-Star game. And we're going to go ahead and complete this one, and then we'll get right into the All-Star game. And then once we get that done, that will probably be the end of the video. We'll be right around, I think, 45 minutes or so there, as we are up to pitch, trying to hold off Rowdy Tellez as he hits an absolute jack to center field, and that will be a grand slam for Rowdy Tellez. Oh my goodness. Just took that cutter down the middle of the plate. I don't even know where his spot is to pitch. Oh, I gotta go off field. That was actually a pretty good pitch. Oh man, that's just, you hate to see it. You really hate to see that, hit a home run off you, let alone it's a 4-run bomb. He hit about, looked like 450,000 feet. Jeez, man. Ooh, we get a strike out there in a bad swing. We really, I decided not to draft any relievers, and that's just because I think you can develop a starting pitcher, and then if you need a moving reliever, you can, or you can draft a closer and move them to reliever and stuff like that, because you only need, 3 closers, in quotations, closers, to fill out your system, your minor league system and whatnot. I guess you could have a 4th there in A-ball or whatnot, but they don't really play, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, you can move them on over. I don't know. I think it makes more sense than that to just draft a reliever, just because it kind of limit them, because they're not gonna be your closing pitcher probably, because you're gonna draft one or sign one. They're not gonna be a starting pitcher because they don't have enough stamina. Sometimes you'll be able to get some guy that is, but I think it makes more sense to sign relievers because they're not super expensive. Closers are a little bit more expensive, but relievers aren't. So I don't know. I decided not to, but this is one of the spots we really need. Our relieving core is not very good, and it's just kind of worrisome if you want to build this team up and whatnot. Taking a look at the Home Run Derby, everything's going to be on center. So Shohei Ohtani with 39. I think it's the league leading 39 homers at the All-Star break. So that is amazing to see. Wyatt Langford, the rookie out of the Rangers in Texas, is in 2nd place with 32. Leads the AL though. Mookie Betts, the Dodgers are killing it in homers. 29 for him. Vladdy has 28. Cunha has 28. Elly De La Cruz, not having a great year. Well, depends on how you define great year. He's striking out a lot. Like, I think the number I heard like a week into the season was like 50-something% of at bats he was striking out, which is insane. But his OPS was still like 900. So that just means he's striking out or hitting a home run or like a triple. And he's absolutely insane. Just like, look at his improvement here. 87 overall. His 99 speed, just like absurd in every single way. He's like killing it on improvement and stuff. He's only 22. Gonna be a freaking all-star. Possibly. Well, I don't know if he's an all-star this year, but he'll probably be a perennial all-star. He's got Rafael Devers and Luke Raley. And see, Elly De La Cruz at 22 years old is absurd for sure. Shohei Ohtani has 98 power. Rafael Devers has 95. I did not show you 98 power. That's actually crazy. But he has such high power. We'll go ahead and simulate to the next round. We'll take a look here. Shohei Ohtani beats Luke Raley by 1. Obviously, he was batting 2nd, so he only beat him by 1. Acuna had 18 and beat Vladimir Guerrero with only 12 or 11. And then Elly De La Cruz advances to the next round with 14 to Mookie Betts' 11. Rafael Devers hit a crazy amount, 22. Wyatt Langford only had 16. Wasn't able to top Rafael Devers, and that's technically, I wouldn't call it an upset. But, you know, in terms of seeding, it's an upset. And Shohei Ohtani takes it to the championship. And Elly De La Cruz with 19 homers, one on a tiebreaker, it looks like. And that will be the championship game, or championship home run amount. They're going to fast forward. Just take a quick look. Or we can only fast forward when they hit. Elly De La Cruz already has 2 homers. Make it 3. He's early on that one. Man, if we get Elly De La Cruz, I mean, he's going to be a $40 million a year man, probably. So it wouldn't surprise me if we can never get him. But I would love. He's a switch hitter too, which is freaking crazy. I would love to be able to get someone of his, talent on the White Sox. But got to play small ball. Some would say money ball. Great movie. But got to play small market ball, even though we're in Chicago. Especially since we're not doing any sponsorships. Decision we made earlier in the season. When am I going to be able to fast forward? Oh, you have to fast forward before they pitch? That's crazy. Elly De La Cruz ended with 17 as we're going to take some swings here. Oh, I didn't realize they always had the same pitcher. Interesting. I don't even know where that ball went. It's early again. No, that's a homer. So he hits a moon rocket out to right field. This Shohei Ohtani swing so beautiful too. He's the most insane player ever, I think. Just in terms of raw capability and just able to do whatever he wants. Like, I mean, he pitches the ball at a Cy Young level and also plays in the infield and hits at an MVP level. Like, that's just never been done before. Even Babe Ruth, he was the last great pitcher hitter. And he really didn't pitch that well. I don't know if he was Cy Young level. I don't think he ever won a Cy Young. But it's just crazy to think that he is, that good. As Shohei Ohtani wins with 18, and he'll be your home run derby champion. I think it'd be awesome to see Shohei Ohtani in real life do the home run derby. Not sure if he would ever do it. As he hits a 461 in his final round, which is crazy. I'm not sure if he would ever do it, but I think it'd be so freaking incredibly cool to see him do it. We're going to advance through the home run derby and take a look at the All-Star game as we have a player on the roster. Not sure if we'll be able to play or lock. I'm not sure if they will be on the starting roster, and they are not. Leon Moncada being our only player on there, we'll go ahead and simulate through. As the AL has defeated the NL. This will be our first day to sign draft picks. I was going to leave this to another video, but honestly, I'm going to go cover this one first, just so we can get it out of the way. So looking here, we obviously you saw in the beginning of the video, the draft. So we have Sammy Lewis, the left fielder, the second round pick at number 42. He's currently injured, which stinks, but he only has 41% interest, and the same with Russell Chin. He only has a little bit of interest, so we're probably gonna have to run him all the way and see if he can will inevitably choose to sign with us. I think he will, especially if we sign him around that $5.5 million mark. And we're gonna do Sammy Lewis as well. I'm really hoping he can get a little bit better on righty contact and power, or just righty contact. But it is what it is. We drafted him. Looking at him now, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, in the moment, we drafted him because he was probably the best player on the board. But looking at him now, it's like, dang, I feel like we wasted a pick. Russell Chin, though, I feel like he was the best option at the specific slot he was in. There was like a couple relievers behind him, if I remember correctly, and then another starter. But I just didn't think the pick smitch on the starter was good enough. So we chose to go with Russell Chin. I don't think he'll be good for us. I think he'll be at least, at the worst case scenario, a 5th day starter. But we'll have to wait and see if that pans out. All right, look at the rest of these guys. I'm going to try to strategically do this. I want to get some guys up to high interest rate, so I don't have to worry about them signing them for the most money. So that'd be Ryan Rich and Calvin L. Don't know how to pronounce that. It's French, it looks like. LeMahieu? Like LeMahieu, but like LeMahieu? Because I think the X is silent. Anyways, I'm not going to get into a pronunciation demo here on the channel. But, so Ryan Rich would be possibly one I would want to sign, like start signing now, because he's almost $1 million. He is our 3rd round pick. the higher interest rates you get, the lower money they'll accept. So it's beneficial to get those guys up above. You know, you have to have at least 50 to sign them until it's the last day. I think if it's the last day, you can sign them at whatever percentage, but you know, you only have one shot. If you don't offer them enough money, they'll just not sign with you. And then the higher you go on the interest rate means you can give them less money, which lowers their interest rate, but typically they'll accept if they're above a certain threshold. So looking at this, and then Calvin L is our second highest. He was our other second round pick. But looking here, he's going to be probably a guy you sign right now, and he plays very soon. He'll probably start out in AAA because his overall is going to be so high. His potential is going to be, but you know, that is what it is. We knew that going into it. Decisions. I think we're going to go with Calvin. See if we can sign him. Offer contract. I can't sign him for any less than he's already asking. Given the slot value for that position is already a 1.13. We'll go see if we can sign him. Yeah, I figured we were going to be able to sign him with 61%. But I was hoping we could get him for less. But there is a minimum you can offer the players. And I'm assuming that is denoted by position drafted. So if you have a guy really high, you're not going to be able to offer him, you know, bare minimum just because you have 100% interest. And yeah, that will do it for us in this one, guys. I could have played some more. I definitely had the time to. This is a shorter video, so apologies for that. But I didn't want to get too into the weeds and simulate too far down the line. I just wanted this to be mostly focused on the draft. And that's why we kind of did a shorter video on this one. But if you wouldn't mind, leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I appreciate you all tuning in. Be sure to catch the next episode, and I will catch you all in the next one.